Hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. It is Wednesday, the 4th of November, 2020. I'm your host, the amazing Super Chris. Today I've got my co-hosts, Andy Hall from the Laughing in Disbelief blog over at Patheos. His links are down below if you want to go subscribe to his channel and stuff. He'll be joining me in just a second. And Nokasuchi from the Rage channel. His body is here. His mind will be with us shortly. Right after this. Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are Conspirowin. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with Conspirowin. All right. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Nokasuchi. You guys ready to do the thing? Are you ready? You ready, Andy?
I just woke up a half an hour ago, sir, and I am ready to roll. And I just want to say this right now. No matter what happened last night, it was still better than growing up with my family. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's a whole different show.
It's a whole different show. And I'll tell you why, because we had great people on the show last night. And if there was any kind of family that I felt online, I was with them last night.
Had a fun show. It was a good time. Good show. Good. Yep. Hey, Nokasuchi, man, how are you doing this morning?
I'm coming alive. Might need to take a nap. Didn't get much sleep. I stayed up and watched the Orange Man do the Orange Lies. So yeah, I've only had about 5 hours of sleep. So I'm coming alive.
Me too. You know, I crashed not long after. I laid there in bed and thought for a second. I was like, you know, what's gonna happen? That was it for me. I was out. I woke up though. I was been up at 4:30 though. I had the wife had to get up and I got up, so I was up at 4:30 doing the thing, and I was so busy getting ready for today's show with our cool little graphics and all that I never really got the time to get into the show or find out what happened. I looked at the news. It's like the world has not collapsed. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me just go do my thing, and the world will collapse like at noon today or something. But it's not doing it now, so let me go make my show. So then. That's kind of where I'm at. Andy is going to fill me in on all the cool stuff he learned while I was doing stuff and he was reading.
I just want to say this.
Okay.
Facebook just showed me one of my posts from a year ago, and I just want to read it.
Okay.
We seek to beat the life and soul out of Hitler and Hitlerism. That alone, that all the time, that to the end. Quote from Winston Churchill. I heard that Mr. Biden's talking about cautious optimism. No, wrong feeling. That is the wrong thing. We seek to beat the life and soul out of Trump and Trumpism. That is it. And here's another clever idea. What he should just be saying over and over again. Every vote counted. 3 freaking words, man. 3 freaking words. The Democrats have just got to put on repeat and drum.
Keep it going.
That's all they need to do is just keep pressure. Hold the line. We have to hold the line and make sure every single vote is counted.
Right. But, you know, before
Michigan just slipped blue for the first time. So we went to bed on some sour notes. I think we were all feeling some feelings.
Indeed.
We wake up and Wisconsin is firmly where it should be. Michigan just slipped into the blue for the first time.
Yes.
That was 8 points last night when we went to bed. 8 points that we've made up.
Let's see what happens in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is where it was, but we knew that it would be because they stopped counting votes, right? So, yeah, North Carolina, Georgia, what's going on down there? Because everything just completely stopped. I think that Biden is going to take both of those states still. And I'm interested in seeing what's going on down in those 2 southern states right now.
Yep. All right. So let's go through what I've been seeing. Oh, no, go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry. I just want to throw out. I got to say hi to everybody before we go. You know, good morning to you. Good morning to you. But good morning to everybody in the damn nation. Critical, Cripple, Trino, DeLuca, hugs. The Lone Wanderer's Bunker. Okay. Critical, Cripple, your Uri bench. Every vote counts. And Junk Shop Library, good morning. And we're streaming to my channel, all 3 channels. Good morning to everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all who watched yesterday. Very much appreciate it. It was a long stream. We did the thing. It was fun. It was a good time. We did good. Thank you to everybody watching on Facebook and to everybody who is listening on the Daily Atheist Morning Show podcast. Every vote counted. Count every vote.
Well, yeah, and I definitely think that Joe Biden, that should be the words coming out of his lips, and he should be everywhere saying it right now. I just woke up. I haven't seen it yet, but hopefully I'm just not seeing it and it's happening. I don't think it is. Hopefully he'll start to fight as the day continues.
Yes, cautious optimism is not the right tone. I don't want to tone zone. I don't want to, tell him that he's not doing the right tone. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because this is where the Democrats fail in not fighting. And we need to fight to make sure what? Every vote counted.
Every vote counted.
3 words.
Count every vote.
Every vote counted.
Yes.
So,
I like what people are saying this morning. I was over hanging out briefly this morning. I kind of got up this morning. I saw the Divine Disbelief channel was up, and I was like, hey, guys, what are you doing streaming? They streamed longer than we did. They ain't right in the head. Anyway, so they were streaming, and Nate over there was talking about, he was making his prediction. He's very good at that, according to him. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever seen him. Maybe he is, maybe, I don't know. But I like him, or I like the words that were coming out of his mouth.
right.
And he was saying that Biden was going to win. He was prognosticating for us.
Yep.
Of course, it's the first round. If Biden wins, Andy's got dates.
I will tell you that, the live blog here on 538 about how the states look this morning. All these updates came out around from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Here's about Wisconsin. We're getting very close to having some results from Wisconsin. I'm seeing a lot of questions like this one. There's a weird-looking bump in the Wisconsin results that happened when 170,000 absentee votes from the city of Milwaukee poured in all at once. It's not nefarious. It's just counting. Right now, I believe in Wisconsin, by this graph that I'm looking at, that was at 6 o'clock in the morning, that Biden was ahead slightly in Wisconsin. Let's see. There are updates from other states like, 6 o'clock in the morning that Biden was ahead. Let me see what I got. Doesn't matter. And all of these.
Hi, Brenda Bear. Good morning.
All of these graphs look hopeful for at least Biden winning a few of these states. The Philadelphia, I'm going to talk about Philadelphia. The Philadelphia City Commissioners currently list 463,000 votes counted in Philadelphia so far. Al Schmidt told CNN there are a total of 350,000 mail-in ballots, which aren't going to start getting counted until today, with that number potentially rising as ballots that were mailed before today arrived. This suggests that there are probably more than 200,000 mail ballots that still have to be counted here, and they are more likely to lean very Democratic in this heavily Democratic city. Importantly, it also suggests Philadelphia turnout may not get to the 710,000 votes cast in 2016, though that will depend on the outstanding mail ballots. So that's interesting. Within Philadelphia, the results, the ballots may not even be more than what was cast in 2016, which you got to ask yourself, what went wrong in Philadelphia? We don't know for sure, but that's a disturbing number right there.
Good morning, Paul Kamish and Uri Bench. We've had Junk Shop Library, brother. How you doing? We've also got John Hammond watching through his girlfriend's phone. They probably share a Facebook account too. You know how it is. Anyway, good morning. So
here's something from the what the Biden campaign is thinking. This is from a tweet from one of the Biden campaign by someone who has a source in the Biden campaign. They believe they won Wisconsin. Expect to be called in the morning, so that's good news, right? Michigan vote by mail lead is insurmountable and will be called by midday. Philly vote by mail will come in tonight or tomorrow. The Georgia result midday or early afternoon, and Nevada call tomorrow. I saw a promising news story on CNN about Nevada. So all hope should not be lost, my friends. That is the
Right.
That is the message.
And I really hope that people are waking up and saying, that Nokasuchi was just really, really smart, because, I told us not to lose hope, and it is looking really good right now. Trump would have to have a sweep of Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, and Michigan to win.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you that has never been said before on this show.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I tease. I do tease, but the wife actually has said that about you. She's like, he's smarter than he looks. I'm like, he'd almost have to be.
Let me do the Michigan.
Almost have to be.
Let me. Yeah. Wow.
Sorry.
Let me do I found this post now. The Michigan morning update with 86% of the expected vote reporting in Michigan. Trump only has a slight edge over Biden, 49.4% to 48.9%, according to ABC News.
Well, and as I said, that has changed now. So Joe Biden is in the lead. I'm looking at my live map. Associated Press map. Joe Biden sitting at 49.3% right now, 49.1%, 94% reporting. And again, in Wisconsin and Michigan, we knew that those early mail-in voting ballots were going to be heavily for Joe Biden. So I'm thinking Wisconsin and Michigan looks really, really good for Joe Biden. Nevada looking really, really good for Joe Biden. North Carolina and Georgia, honestly, like I went to bed last night and they were still favoring Joe Biden to win Georgia by like 65%.
Really?
Let me tell you what
because a lot of those outstanding votes are Atlanta votes, and they're going to be for Joe Biden. Yeah.
So this is the Georgia's morning update from 8:28 here on the live blog on 538. According to ABC, about 92% of the expected vote is in. Trump is ahead by 2.16 percentage points. 50.48 for Trump and 48.28% for Biden. And I'm just going to say my aside and my passive-aggressive man, gosh, it would have been great to have a vice presidential candidate from Georgia to help twist that state.
Just imagine that.
Column. Just imagine. Just imagine. This is, what the show is. The show isn't the post-election show. This is the I Told You show. That's what this is. This is I Told You show. So let me continue what they're saying about Georgia. The question, of course, is where the outstanding votes are located, and it's coming down to counties surrounding Atlanta, typically liberal ones, from what I understand, which is good news for Biden. Deep Blue, DeKalb County, which is part of the Atlanta metro area, is still reporting only about 80% of the estimated vote, leaving 80,000 or more votes uncounted. A little over 10% of the vote in Cobb County, only 10% of the vote in Cobb County, a large suburban county that's leaning Biden, is still uncounted, leaving around 45,000 votes outstanding. And we're still waiting for another 20,000 votes from Gwinnett County, which we talked about last night. Another part of suburban Atlanta, which is also tilting fairly strongly for Biden. Unlike Cobb, though, it's not a Biden stronghold. Biden won't get all these votes, of course, but given that Trump is only ahead by about 100,000 votes in Georgia, those counties could still be quite significant. So that's what's going on with Georgia today. Still a very close race. And what's the takeaway? Every vote counted. That's what we have to be insisting on. Call up your legislators. If you live in one of these states, you should be calling your state rep. You should be calling up your state senator. You should be calling up your governor. That's what you should do. Because I have to tell you something. Politicians hate hearing from their constituents. They live in mortal fear of hearing from us. And you should call them, even if you're just peeing in the wind, maybe, right? But this is the thing you have to do. Just pick up the freaking phone and make 3 phone calls. Your state senator, your state rep, and the governor, at the very least. And maybe your county your county commissioner, if you even know how to get that telephone number. I don't know. But start calling people. Call your friends. Tell your friends these are the people. This is what we should be doing right now. Arizona's morning update. Biden has a 5-point statewide and 82% of the expected vote reported. So Biden's looking pretty good in Arizona as well as Maine. We're just waiting for votes to come in.
My map has Arizona called for Joe Biden pretty firmly, yeah.
Excellent.
Real quick, I want to thank Paul Kamish for the £4.99 of support to the channel. He says, have a nice pot of tea. Tea is good. Thank you for that. He also asks, do I think Trump is going to win? I don't think Trump, thankfully to the things I'm hearing this morning from my fellow peeps and from other places, I think Trump is going to win this round. Or not Trump, Biden. Biden is going to win this round.
Yeah.
And then there are other rounds to be won. Andy, what are those dates again? December 8th.
Welcome to the apocalypse.
Yeah.
This is the double death overtime. This is the 10th, the 11th, the 13th innings. December 8th. Yes, you thought I was crazy when I was throwing these numbers up yesterday. Who's crazy now? America, that's him. December 8th. Disputes within the states about the vote have to be resolved by December 8th. So if there are any questions about the popular vote, they have to be resolved by December 8th. Next date, December 14th.
Okay. December 14th.
All the electoral votes are to be cast.
Okay. Hold it.
December 6th. Congress certifies the vote tallies. Yes, Congress has to certify the vote tallies. And of course, the finish line, or what should be the finish line, and then you ask yourself, is it going to be the finish line? It's Inauguration Day. And there is a chance for things to go wrong on December 8th, on December 14th, and January 6th, which we talked about at length yesterday on our... How long did we stream for?
9 hours. 52 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, we'll call it 9. We'll call it 9
hours. And change. Yeah. 9 hours.
So that's what's going on right now. Once again, every vote counted. Call your people. Call your people and have them call their people to call politicians in your state, especially if you are in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, any of these states that are outstanding. You got to make sure every vote gets counted. And you got to put heat. F Joe Biden, F the DNC. This is the thing that they should be telling people today. Call your politicians. Call your friends, call your family who are Biden supporters, who are Democrats, and put the heat on those politicians, on the state senators, the state reps, and the governor, because that's what the Republicans are doing. That's what the Republicans are doing. They are telling their people to surge and to put pressure on vote counters.
Absolutely. Critical Cripple says he's asking, is the Senate lost? I don't think it's lost. I think now it's just tied. We're going to end up with more of a tie. It's not.
I don't.
I heard that. I heard that knock.
It's looking more bleak. Like maybe maybe it's going to end up where it was, 51-49, because I'm looking at a race here in Michigan, and it has tightened up a lot for Joe Biden here in Michigan. Not as much for Peters going against John James. John James has still a firm lead, and looking at with how Biden has caught up to Trump, I'm starting to think that Peters is not going to retain his seat. Democrats is going to actually lose that seat, and it's a seat. It was Justin Amash's seat, so it's that's going to stay with the Republicans. Right now, the last tally I saw, 47 Republican seats to 45 Democratic seats. Republicans are down a seat. We're up a seat at this point. So it's really it's going to be really close. So I think even the Senate is still up in the air, and it's still just way closer than any of us was hoping for. Yeah. Right? Like way closer.
Our government's going to be deadlocked for the next 4 years if Biden wins in. And then nothing's going to happen. At least, we say to 2 years, but we couldn't get him out this time with all this momentum. We've seen
what McConnell can do, and he's going to do that for 2 years.
Executive order. I mean, it is
Biden.
Yeah, that's what he would have to do.
Hell yeah, do it.
And
then, Trump did it.
The thing is,
say a thing.
And the thing is that you do enough executive orders really fast, then the other side has to play catch up, right? Because then they have to go through the courts, and that's a time-consuming exercise for the other side to the Republicans to engage in. So just do a bunch of executive orders. It is a sign of the frailty, and I'm just going to say stupid words now. It's a sign of the frailty of the republic that the president has to do executive orders to get anything done, basically.
Right. Well, in this particular case, when this president got into office, I mean, he was doing the Oprah thing with executive orders.
Sure. Yep. And that's what we have to do.
And Biden needs to do the same. We need to ramrod or run slipshod or however you say it through the government just like they did. Will we? No, I don't think so.
No. It's a matter of character, and we talked about this last night. It's a matter of character and just how Biden is responding just shows you where, what kind of fire he has in him. And it's not a lot of fire. There's a reason why he's a 2-time loser, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Brenda Barrett on Facebook says, Mitch will not let anything pass. So disappointed he's still there. Me too.
Yep.
Me too. I'm surprised too. I'm disappointed disappointed in America and in the people.
Well, I'm highly disappointed in the people. Yes. You would think, all the things that Mitch McConnell has done to not help his constituents, and the fact that they continue to go out and vote for him election after election after election, it just speaks to the stupidity of the populace in a lot of these states. It really speaks to the attack on education, and it's really, really sad. I'm going to be happy when we win, but there's not going to be no victories here.
No victory laps.
Even if we win. Yeah.
No victory laps.
Yep.
Although
I am disappointed not to see Messenger, because I was hoping to hear his disappointment with all the smack he was talking all day yesterday.
Well, yeah, that's the whole deal. Even if he still wins, that's what I tried to get out of him yesterday. I thought we were going to have a blue wave. We did not. It was not overly hard. It didn't hurt at all. Maybe a little for me to go, we didn't have a blue wave like I thought. I was wrong. I said, can you say that about you and your red wave? I never saw him agree with that.
Yeah.
Clearly there was no red wave, or it had been decided last night.
Yeah. There's no red wave. I think that, really all he can say is that the red wave was just Republicans showed up and voted.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no leaning to more power for the right wing here. Maybe they keep power. That's still up in the air.
Well, one of the stories that's going to be coming out, and it'll be interesting, is the shift of Latinos, whether or not they shifted towards the Republicans, which from what I'm hearing and what I'm reading, there has been a shift. And so as typically when immigrants become more affluent, or when people, let's just talk about it. When people become more affluent, they see their paychecks and they don't really understand where the money's going to, and they want to keep as much of that paycheck. They tend to go Republican. Yeah. So, there might just be, as Latinos are becoming more affluent, and I said, and we talked about this last night, as Latinos become more affluent, a significant portion of them may be voting Republican. That is something that we're going to have to look at in the post-mortem.
Yeah, and immigration is such a sticky topic, because the Republican, especially the Trump immigration platform, is extremely far right, extremely what I would consider to be neo-Nazi from back in the 90s, the same things that they were saying. But to legal immigrants here, it's like their abortion issue, because they spent years trying to get that legal citizen status. So now when they see Democrats, trying to give what they worked hard, not for free, but to make it a lot less harder to get what they worked so hard to get, then that turns them away from Democrats. And I think we have seen, I've personally seen a lot of Latinos be more pro-wall than any white Trumper I've ever met. So yeah, I think that becomes their hot button issue that kind of directs their votes more and more towards the right, is immigration.
Thank you for the correction. Remember, Sammy Jenkins, it's January 6th. January 6th is when Congress certifies the votes, the electoral vote tallies that the states send them. Bam, he just corrected me because I said December 6th as against January 6th. Big night, Andy. Oh, it was a night. It was a night. Remember, Sandy. Remember Sammy Jenkins. That's what it was.
It was a night, yes. That was a long one.
It was a long one. Thanks for everyone who stuck with us. I don't know how many people were here for the entire stream, or at least for vast portions of the stream, but I think we did a great job. I think we did a great job.
Yeah, by the end of it, I pretty much only had the right wingers left talking smack. But for most of it, I had a pretty consistent flow of the people there. So yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
Yep, cool.
Yeah, I thought we had a good turnout, really, for, as long as it went, people stuck there, and it was pretty nice to the folks. As the night wore on, I saw several people going, I just, like Sammy Jenkins said a minute ago, I just can't.
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, I just can't even, and I'm going to go can't even over there. I saw people do that last night.
Well, thankfully,
and I get it.
We three are veterans of 1,000 Psychic Wars. Yes, that is a call to call back to the Blue Oyster Cult song from heavy metal there. So, but we were willing and able and capable to do the full 9 hours, and
We did it.
And back again this morning.
I know, troopers. Yeah, so I think one of the things about the question is what's going to happen now, and hopefully we're going to win, right? What happens if Biden loses? If those counts come in, that's what I worry about. Is Biden going to fight as hard as Trump if he loses? Now, let's just say Biden wins. The next question is Biden going to fight as hard to keep it as Trump is going to fight to try to steal it?
Okay, I need to do a correction. Not only do we need to be calling the Republicans or your state senators and your state reps and your governors, you got to call your Democratic people too. You know, if there are local Democratic leaders within your community, then you got to be calling them too, especially if you're in these states, to tell them you got to be pushing, you got to be fighting,
push,
every vote counted. So just go out there, make your phone calls. I guess I'm gonna have to make some phone calls too, even though I live in a deep blue state, and I'm sure my senators Warren and Markey are going to be fighting. I just want them to know that I want them to make sure every vote counts, every vote counted. And I guess I'll have to call.
Too bad we didn't have those Green Party votes. Those would have counted too. Too bad we didn't have those. Not you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your buddy. I'm not talking about your one state. I'm talking about across the entire nation. Had we had those,
here's the thing, and I'm going to talk about. I can use this word, pussy. Pussy DNC.
Trump can say it.
About the pussy DNC is that, you know what? Maybe if you can't fight off the Greens, all right, that's like France not being able to fight off the Belgians or something, you know, and then expect to take on the Germans, hypothetically speaking. You know, if the Democrats can't win votes for their own base, because let's face it, most of people in the Green Party should be the base of the Democratic Party. Right? Mm-hmm. And if you can't win those people over, your own base, then how do you expect to go slay the monster? How do you expect to go kill the monster? It is ridiculous.
Well, you know, then by that same point, though, it's like at this point in the game, it's like either the freaking Minnesota Vikings or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Green Party is over there voting for the Raiders. They're literally throwing their vote away. Literally. Remember, I mentioned this during the show. Oh, whenever it comes down, if it's tight, you're sure going to wish those green votes were blue votes. And here we are.
But
we are.
You know,
thank you, Green Party.
Well, we haven't seen any information about whether or not the Green Party has tanked Biden's chances in any of these swing states.
Well, yeah,
we haven't seen any evidence, and you could make the argument that the Libertarians drained from the Republican base too.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think from what I've seen, is third parties might have actually damaged Trump a little bit more this go around.
Okay. Yes.
Because last time we had Jill Stein was a national figure. She
was pretty big.
This time it was more the Libertarian was the big third party candidate.
I will say this, with Professor Alan Lichtman in his book, The 13 Keys of Power, How Presidential Elections Work, or How to Predict Presidential Elections, he states that whenever there's a third party polling more than 5%, it damages the party in power, because what that is, and this is like back to 1984, typically if a third party is polling more than 5%, then it is because people are not happy with the party in power. That's been the rule so far. Whether or not it occurred this time, I don't know.
Well, and honestly, last night could have been the best thing for the Green Party ever, because as I said, you know, this bad strategy, win or lose, they don't listen to their base, and their base is left. It is consistently going farther and farther left, and the DNC isn't keeping up with that. They're trying to stay status quo right there in the middle, and no, that's not going to work for you. And I think moving forward, you're going to actually see more and more people voting for a Green Party or the Socialist Workers Party. Those parties might actually gain a lot of traction from just the DNC's idiocy.
You know,
honestly.
and you could just see the culture of losing with the DNC. Once again, with Biden not going out there saying,
the
every
DNC
vote
is
counted,
the Detroit Lions. Yeah.
Call your people. Call the other people's people. Call your people. They should just be telling, just go and call your Democratic allies as well as the people in power and let them know you want every vote to be counted. Every vote.
Call them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
F
But,
me
we need
sideways.
it. If that's going to happen, who knows? I mean, it seems like it's a lot of effort for nothing, like Nokasuchi's saying, just flush them all, because it ain't doing us no good. They're little more than Republican lie, and it's like whenever we get into these races, and even Andy's, what Andy's words translates into this, when the DNC gets up there and fights, they're like, "Oh, you bully! You're just so rough and mean. Oh my goodness, stop. And Trump's like, bow, 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 bow. And he don't care. He's like, lie. And they're like, oh, stop. We need to go on the offensive. We need to stop with this soft punching. Are they doing it on purpose? That's what we've been talking about before. Why the hell would you put Joe Biden up? Back when we were looking at Joe Biden, we saw Joe Biden lose in all those little primaries, but we saw Bernie beating Klobuchar. We saw Bernie beating Beto O'Rourke. We saw Bernie beating Pete. We saw Bernie beating Mayor Pete. Yeah. So once Bernie was beating all those guys and slaying all them, and Joe Biden, you see Joe Biden's little camp over, there's like 6 guys holding signs. They're all white, look like they came out of some big fancy college. And then they all started falling away and throwing their support to Biden because of the DNC.
Yep.
Oh, no. Stop. They fought harder to beat Bernie Sanders than they did to defeat Trump.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yep, totally. I'm going to say it again.
That's a clip, Andy. That's a short right there, buddy.
That's a good clip right there. I'm just going to give this one more quote one more time in case people didn't hear it the first time. We seek to beat the life and soul out of Hitler and Hitlerism. That alone. That all the time, that to the end.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff that we should be hearing from people. You're just going to take Hitler out, put Trump in, not a hard shuffle stuff there. And that is it. We seek to beat the life and soul out of Trump and Trumpism. That alone, that all the time. You
would think, though, I mean, like my fancy little shirt. How does Andy say it? Shameless plug for my stuff.
Shameless
plug. Like my shirt there says, it's the modern day GOP conservatives is the party of hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy as a political philosophy. That's what they've become. They used to be sort of a more noble. They were a little more shady about their being shady, but now they're just all out there. It's what we got. The party of hypocrisy, the party of lies. And we got a whole bunch of people that buy that.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yep. And I talk to people like I have a friend down in Texas who I respect intellectually, and I'm talking to him on the phone. We're not really talking about the subject because she's kind of but then she starts saying, and the lies that are going on, the lies on both sides. I'm like, wait. Well, let's talk about, I didn't go into the whole poo flinging and smearing the poo on the wall. And is this a Tootsie Roll over here versus that poo all over the place? I didn't go through that with the lies with her. But why should I have to?
Yeah.
But I tell you why, because of Fox News and all those stations that they listen to and all that's the intellectual poison that comes out of Fox News.
There is no equivalency. Whenever I hear a Fox News talking point like that, I will, and I said it here on this show, I've said it on other shows, I've said it on other social media platforms. There is no equivalency between what the Republicans do and what the Democrats do in terms of the truth. Republicans, anti-science for decades.
Clearly, yeah. And getting worse.
What presidential candidates don't believe in evolution, right? So just ask yourself that. That alone should tee you up to, which party doesn't believe in climate change? What party doesn't believe in face masks? There is there is no equivalency between the Republicans and the Democrats and how they approach science and how they approach reality, to tell you the truth.
Well, yeah, when opinion becomes equally as valued as truth, society's in trouble, and that's what we've seen in our society for a while. and we allowed it to get worse and worse and worse, and now to where 50% of the country, literally 50% of the country, their opinions matter more than the truth does.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just...
how many people of them will just buy anything that these people tell them? They just, you see Trump come out and say these things, and, this is a guy who talked about nuking a hurricane.
Nuking a hurricane, that's right.
This is the guy who lied about paying off a porn star with campaign funds, and then his lawyer admitted to doing it and sat in jail for doing it. How is this guy still our president?
So
how is this possible?
To answer Tent in my side chat, yes. If Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan goes Biden, that's 270 votes. Trump can win the rest. That puts him at 268. Technically, Joe Biden is president. Yeah. And then the shitstorm ensues.
But then the storm ensues. And what is that storm again? December 8th. All voting within each state should be resolved. This is just the law. These are hard. They're supposed to be hard numbers. December 14th. Electoral college votes are cast. January 6th. Congress certifies those votes. And January 20th. That is when we cross the finish line. In theory, keep those numbers in line. Yeah. So right now we have to fight for December 8th to make sure every vote is counted. Every vote is counted because we are on in the clock where there is a clock ticking right now.
Well, yeah, and honestly, right now, what's looking, I guess maybe Arizona, maybe Nevada, if Nevada does indeed go blue, like it's looking like it will. But right now, really, the state that we have to worry about for Chris's nightmare scenario of a governor not sending in his electorate and challenging his own electorate, that would be in Georgia. But as the map looks right now, like as I said, if we take Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan, Georgia doesn't even matter outside of the fact that they could disrupt the process. Yeah. And it's looking like, as I was saying before the show, it actually really looks like Georgia might end up blue.
Yeah. And the thing is, what is another reason why you should be calling people and you should be telling your people to call politicians at this point is to get ready for the bigger fights coming down the road. There are bigger fights coming down the road, and you should be activated, energized, and getting on that freaking phone, sending people emails and just saying, we need to push on this. We need to hold the line and make sure every vote is counted.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's going to be it. Today is crucial. We should know by the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
Right now those lawyers are down. They're in these probably 4 states really fighting. And yeah, we need to not let them just get away with it. I think that today is important. If you're not working, if you can, head down to some headquarters and figure out what's going on and put some pressure on. Make those phone calls. Let your voice be heard today, because today's the day to do it. Right today.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah. Well, there's still a lot more to come. Again, today's the day. That's just the first part of the battle. If Biden doesn't pull it off, though, that's the battles going forward, or battles we hadn't even really been sitting around talking about or thinking about. What do we do if Trump literally... No, so my argument has been, if Trump wins the election legitimately, it was hacked.
Well, especially this
that's
close.
Been my argument.
I think we're gonna have to, and he's gonna have to show some transparency here. I don't. Nobody here expects him to do so, but we're gonna have to demand it. Yeah. Transparency. What happened with the election? What happened in the voting machines? What happened in the booths? What were Russia and China doing? So yeah, I think we're gonna have to demand absolute 100% transparency. Yep. Either way, like I think it should happen either way. Because we need to know what these other countries are doing in the course of a national election like this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Remember Sammy Jenkins, for the $2 Australian of support to the channel. He says, "Scary when the senile guy is the better option." If you mean Biden by that, I kind of, before this whole campaign thing, I kind of fell a little bit for that Russian narrative is what it is. And then I watched Biden speak on several occasions, and I don't really see any of that. I don't see any of that.
He's always had a stutter, and it's gotten worse as he's gotten older, but that's natural.
But other than that, you know, I tell you, if we talk about his stutter and Donald Trump stumbled over his words and said crazy things so much more often than Biden did. Donald Trump, and yet everybody's questioning Biden.
Well, yeah, and Donald Trump actually shows physical signs of it to where Biden doesn't. Biden's actually, as far as I know, very, very healthy. Keeps himself in really good health, to where we see signs of degrading from Donald Trump. The way he holds his water glasses, going down the ramp, his posture and his stance. So yeah, I mean, there's actually people hear Joe Biden. And he's always been a gaffe machine, and he's always had that stutter. Yeah, I fell for a bit too. But if you go and look at it, when he misspeaks, he's stuttering, and it's his stutter. That's what it is.
The thing is about the cardinal sin of Joe Biden is that he does not fight. This is the thing, and he does not communicate fighting to people. He wanted to be the nice guy. He wanted to be the empathic guy. And you know what? I said it before, and I'll say it again. Americans don't care about that. Americans do not care about empathy as much as they want for strength.
And he failed at it. He failed at it.
Need to project strength.
He had those issues with not with the little girls smelling their hair, but also the Tara Reid thing. I mean, he didn't really have a chance to. He wasn't never going to be a good guy, at least to the people on the left that were aware of the Tara Reid situation. He needed to come out and fight because that was the only way he was going to really win us, and he didn't do it.
But the bad thing about whenever he does come out and fight, it's like, you betcha, suckers. You know, it's like 1950s movies kind of thing where he's, you know, we're going to get you. You can't hide from us, you see. This kind of thing. It needs to be not like that whenever he does it. And there's not a lot he can do about it. I love Joe. I'm not knocking him. I don't mean to knock him. I'm just saying, you know, it's just, ugh. Let me say, somebody here had me in the chat. Oh, Jim Majors. Good morning, Jim Majors. Thank you for watching this show with us. I really am keen to get you on the show and have you talk to us about Donald Trump and the Antichrist. I mean, absolutely. If you name the day and the when, and I will make it happen, brother. Because I really want to see that. That's just kind of lean us back towards the anti-religious stuff. But why not? We got the politics. So if you don't mind, keep that in mind, brother. I'd like to see that happen. So where do we go from here, Super Andy? And Delicious?
I'm calling up Senator Warren's office when I get off this stream. I'm calling up Senator Markey's office, and to let them know I support the idea that every vote, the novel idea in this country, that every vote gets counted, and that I would hope and I would expect them to fight for that principle. You know, they just need to hear it. And they just need to know that their people, us, support them in conducting the fight and pushing things forward.
Well, and here's a little gold for the morning. It's quite possible that Joe Biden sweeps what is remaining. That he gets everyone. He gets Georgia. He gets North Carolina. He gets Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nevada. If that happens, that's a resounding electoral win for Joe Biden. So, I mean, there's still so many different scenarios that could play out through the course of the day today. I'm going to be personally, because I still feel confident we got Michigan in the bag. Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania right now are going to be very interesting to see how those votes come in.
Yep. Sure enough, man. Sure enough.
Thank you, Jim Majors, for the $5 of support to the channel. He says, good morning, gentlemen. I'd love to come on whenever, buddy. Y'all be kind and be good. We will. And again, I was really fascinated about we were saying it before, whenever we're talking about the relationship or the similarities between, you know, Trump or Hitler or Trump or the Antichrist. Why is it nobody goes Trump or Gandhi? Nobody ever says that. It's just, you know, Trump or Bill Gates. It's just, they never fall out. It's not, you know, anyway. Funny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hopeful after what I hear you guys say. After the things I heard over on Divide and Disbelief's channel, you know, rooting, hoping his and Nate Silver, to hell with you. The hell, you get paid for that? Who pays you for that?
Well, I want
they
that
should get
job.
their money back.
I mean,
what?
It seems
you
to
should
me
get his job.
It seems to me political pollster and weatherman, you know, you don't have to worry about your job in those fields, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
no matter what.
you know, it was a Saturday Night Live skit last Saturday, and they had actually a player be Nate Silver, and Nate Silver is like, well, you know, there's only a 1 in 6 chance of Trump winning the election. So here on this 6-sided die, it would just be a 1. And look, oh, it's a 1. Well, that's crazy. You know, if we roll it again, oh, look, it's another 1. And then he tries it again. Oh, look, it's an electoral tie. How is that even on the die? You know, so the 10% chance of Trump winning is a 10% chance of Trump winning. We may not like it, but if anyone has played any kind of role-playing game where you had 10-sided dice and you had a 10% chance of it and you decided to go with it. You know, there was one time that one of my characters in Marvel Superheroes, oh no, not another one of those stories, Andy. I only had a 1% chance of doing the thing that I needed to get done. A guy was holding a bazooka to my character, and I was like, you know, I have a superpower called luck, and I'm just gonna. And the guy managing the game is like, well, you have a 1% chance of that coming off. It's like, all right, I'm gonna roll the dice, and I got the 1% chance. You know why? Because 1% chances do occur in real life. That's why it's a 1% chance.
That's right. It's not a no percent chance.
It's not a no percent chance. And once again, it's more about what we do here and now. And I understand many of us. You know, I've texted with people this morning before I came on about, you know, being calm, but being firm about what's going on right now and what is to be done. You know, and I understand a lot of people are sad or they're shaken, but the most important thing you can do is to go out there and make those phone calls and talk to your friends who are of like minds and say, we really have to put the pressure on right now to make sure every vote gets counted.
You know, I wish I was, you know, you see these people out there that are like, oh, somebody did a campaign on Facebook and it went viral and swept across the country. I wish we could do that. If I could do that, I would have already done it. But we need that to, you know, here's just like an open letter to the DNC going, this is what you need to be doing. Why aren't you doing this?
Right.
And we need to have that, you know, and have it go viral. Otherwise, nobody cares. Nobody cares anyway. I need to get that meme. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, brother. I will tell you this: we could be 100% right on everything that we've said, and like I was back in 2016, and you still get kicked in the teeth, basically, you know, for saying the words people don't want to hear. That is just life, unfortunately, man. I don't want to sound like the bitter old guy, but I guess I sound like a bitter old guy.
You know, what does it take to get a job like Nate Silver's? I mean, if you can be that wrong that often, I mean, I've got darts.
You got darts?
I could have like a, you know, like a, what's the high and low going to be on this one? And just throw a dart over my shoulder? Yeah. Okay. You know, I could do that too.
You know, the thing is, no one knows for sure what's going to happen. There's always this fog of war that comes on that is about the battlefield of our 50 states, electorally speaking. And no one can really divine the future. You know, no one can divine the future. Would it be nice? Obviously, polling once again is really off, and I don't want to be an apologist for Nate Silver. And they did some tweaks after the 2016 election. Obviously, the tweaks did not work for this election. There are some assumptions, I think, about Latinos and other minorities that just is not true. That there were some assumptions in the models that just assumed that they were a monolithic group voting one certain way, and I don't think that's going to be part of the post-mortem there, the autopsy of how polling went wrong this election cycle.
True enough. Thank you, Derek Cruz, for the $2 of support to the channel. He says, great show today. Thank you for that. Jim Majors says, after this, Nate Silver going to change his name to Nate Nickel.
Nate Nickel. There you go.
Didn't you say that last night, Andy, or something similar to that?
I just ran my mouth so much over those 9 hours. I don't even know what I said.
You were like the Energizer Bunny, man. You just kept going and going.
It's just fury. It's just anger. That's all it is. It's just this simmer of anger that I have. That's managed. Yeah, we made it through the night. And once again, fantastic guest. And I want to thank Dan Arrow, who came in at 10 o'clock, was with us for an hour, and really helped center all of us in waiting for election results the next day, for us not to lose our crap, for us not to be too upset about last night. I think Dan was a very of all people, Dan freaking Arrow being a stable influence. I mean, I've known this guy for a long time, and I would not have posted this guy to be the stable influence. But times of crisis, some people will rise to the occasion. And thanks to Dan Arrow for coming on, and all the other guests. We had Caitlin Bailey coming on. Yeah, she was out of and up and everything. But hilarious guest.
That's why she was fun. Yeah. You really need to check on Ian, see how he's doing.
I'm going to give Ian. I'm going to Facebook Ian. Yeah, I'm going to let him have some sleep before I start bugging him. I'm sure And Jonathan Pierce. Jonathan Pierce just crushed it as a guest last night too. Our guy. And he said all those things that I said, but with that lovely British accent, which made me believe them, actually, because I don't believe half the stuff that comes out of my mouth a lot of the times because it's from me with this horrible accent. But he has such a nice voice.
I'd like to get him on the morning show, on a regular morning show.
He is magic. He's an incredibly bright guy.
As well as her, too. She would, as a regular morning show guest. Yeah, she'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
She is. All good people. So I was happy with our guests. Godless Engineer, too. He was fun. And I'm glad that he could stop by. So, Rage, what were the other streams like? Because you're on other streams. How did we compare? I don't want to make this as a, how we did.
Yeah, it went pretty well. It was earlier in the night, so it was still, we had a lot of optimism that it was going to be different than what it turned out to be. So I think that, when I landed back on the show last night for good, that's when it really started. That's when the night really started to get interesting. And then we saw, we all took some dark roads last night, because how could you not when it didn't play out like it was supposed to? But I just want to remind everybody, that I called Michigan before results started coming in, and I stayed true. Even when it looked like Michigan was definitely going to Donald Trump. Joe Biden has about a 20,000 vote lead in Michigan right now, with 95% reporting. Joe Biden's going to take Michigan, and I'm going to call all my friends after the stream today that were getting nervous last night, and we're going to have a moment to celebrate. It doesn't look like we won with Hillary Schulten here in our district. We're going to see about Peters and John James. That's the important one right now. Michigan can, we can give a Democrat a Senate seat. So hopefully that will end up playing out, but it's not looking good right now.
Jonathan Pierce was fantastic. I would enjoy getting his commentary back on the show. And if you do invite him back, let him know I will have a Snickers before he arrives.
Thanks, man. That's good.
Yes, I think he'll understand.
The official amount of people who voted, it looks like, is 160 million people voted. And the turnout rate was 66.9%. It's the highest turnout rate since 1900. And in 1900, it was 73.7%. I don't know what the F was going on in 1900 if people are voting at that level, because it makes you think that the ship was going down in 1900. But I can't think off the top of my head of what was going on back then. But yeah, 160 million people voted.
Well, you're talking turn of the century, so you had a lot of the Jim Crow laws, a lot of racial divisiveness back in the early 1900s.
Are you saying white people like to vote for race?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
True enough. I tell you, it's been crazy, and here we are the day after. I'm really looking forward to hearing the good news throughout the day. That Nokasuchi's been dropping on us, and Nathan over at that other channel, the Divine Disbelief. I'm really looking forward. I want you guys to be exactly right.
Yeah, I'm still hoping for a sound electoral victory, at least for Biden. But I mean, that doesn't matter, because, like I said, if he doesn't get the Senate, with Mitch McConnell
Insane,
being majority leader, it looks like the American people could have very well handed us a stalemate again, which is horrible for the country. It's horrible.
Yeah, true enough.
I'm seeing a news article here that says remaining vote in Pennsylvania appears to be largely for Biden. That would be good.
Yeah,
We were reading that too earlier. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's like Georgia and North Carolina that has been sitting red since early last night. Their remaining vote is probably for Biden, because a lot of these early votes were Democrats voting based upon what they were hearing from about the coronavirus, as opposed to Republicans being told to go and vote in person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, guys, I think we've done the hour. Andy,
Crushed it. We crushed the hour. Well, this is what I'm doing, apparently. This is what I'm doing. I'm talking with you. I actually have very limited, I got to go and do a couple of blog post articles for my blog, Laughing in Disbelief, and comically, I don't know how, but comically look at what's going on in the world. So I'm going to spend some time trying to be funny and not angry, or maybe angry and funny on my blog, Laughing in Disbelief on Pathos, and then try to maybe set up some guests for the rest of the week, because I didn't know how things were going to shake down. And yeah. So in case you want to stream anytime during the day, Chris, in case there's any big news, I am available. Basically,
you'll be ready to do the thing if we continue to do the thing. If something happens, you're welcome to shoot me a text or something if something goes down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
And because I'll be doing stuff. Like I don't watch the news so much. I'll be doing stuff, and if something goes down, text me or something. Let me know. We'll fire up a stream, and we'll get Nokasuchi, and we'll all go do that voodoo that we do so well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hey, Nokasuchi, what do you got going on? You got anything else going on today?
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to have our open room tonight. So if you want to come by, I'm sure it's going to be a political open room, considering the day. So if anybody wants to come by and talk the election, talk the craziness, we'll be doing that 7:00 tonight. And then, if something happens throughout the day, or maybe I'll go live. I know that I'll be taking a nap, but other than that, too. I do plan on keeping my eyes on the news. Maybe I'll go live with an individual stream, but definitely 7 p.m. tonight we'll have an open room. Come and talk the election, please. If you're a Trumper, I would love to hear from you. Come get me angry. I need to get some of this anger out, because I'm frustrated that it didn't happen like it should have happened. Yeah. So that's going to be happening.
Okay. Well, we've got a couple of questions real quick, briefly. I remember Sammy Jenkins says, what's the short of it? Results of today or something till the end of the week. We should, I believe, know by the end of today. There'll be some lingering votes or lingering results, but I think the majority of it, hopefully we should know by the end of the day. And we may even have a stream this evening going, yay! I have a special button here. It's the Biden 1 button.
Right now,
I never got to push it.
I just want to say that there's some press conferences going on. I'm just looking at this at the live blog at 10 a.m. right now. Biden for president election briefing. So Biden should be talking right now. So I'm going to go look and see.
Do y'all want to carry on, and I can see if I can pop it up on a screen like we did yesterday?
More than likely, that would be up to you. I'd be down for it, but more than likely, we're probably going to be waiting a half an hour for the bastard to actually take the stage.
At least, well, let's just think. We'll shut down the stream. We'll do the thing. We may pop up a stream later, or we may do another evening stream to kind of recover everything, because apparently this election ain't done yet.
And definitely, if I decide to go live, I'll shoot it on our Facebook Messenger chat, and if you guys want to hop on, feel free.
What time are you doing your stream?
7 p.m. Eastern tonight will be the open room. So we'll. It'll be my first test run with OBS and 10 people in, and we'll see how it goes.
Sounds like chaos. It sounds like fun, man.
Yeah, it does. It does. All right, guys, we're off to save the world. Thank you to you guys, and thank you to everybody in the chat for joining us. Thank you to all the patrons and the people who super chatted for us. We very much appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who watches on Facebook, and to the people who listen on the Daily Atheist Morning Show podcast live. You got a thing, Andy?
Call your freaking people. Call your politicians. Let them know every voice, every vote needs to count. Just do that. Freaking Christ. Just do it.
Call them. The Free Thought Prophet has just joined in. He says, good morning, everybody. I see the assassins have failed.
That's right. We are still alive, sir.
We're still here.
The Russians have not poisoned us with radioactive substances. I guess
some of us are barely here.
Right.
I'm still sleeping technically.
That's true. I just want to mention, if we do decide to go live, if something big happens this evening and we do another stream, Nokasuchi can technically do 2 streams. He can do his other stream, the open room, just like normal, and we can go ahead and stream to his channel with an updated election thing. We can do that. Yeah. We got magic.
From what I understand, we're going to know a lot of things before 7 o'clock tonight, so we shouldn't have to interfere with Nok's stream. From what I understand of the time,
we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
And yeah, Tent, if you want to come on, please come on. We'll be throwing the link in the side chat, and yeah, it's an open room. Anybody can come on. Just got to be, once it's full, it's full.
All right.
Yeah.
Thunderdome.
All right. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow or this afternoon. Take care.
Be strong.
Thank you for watching the show. A special shout out to my gold level Patreon supporters, Cindy Plaza and Ian Davenport. Thank you, and have a great day.